Wonderful. Well, great evening, everyone. I am Shannon Johnson here from Houston, Texas, and we are excited to welcome you to the best place on the planet. I'm going to go ahead and move myself out of the way and bring up a dynamic speaker that has 100% of the information to share. She is a wife and she is a professional makeup artist here in Houston, Texas, and she is a member of the 80/80 Club. Okay, so you're going to hear more about that shortly, but she has many awards in this opportunity. She is a Fireball recipient, an impact player. She is a Breakthrough Award winner and the Breakout Award winner, in addition to being the 2025 Team MVP. So many awards here. She is a three-star director, so that means she has a team well over 1,000 in this opportunity. And she is a Sapphire Ring wearer, so that means she earns 100K residually in this opportunity and was able to do that in 13 months. I would love to welcome Ms. Brandi Holmes Dennison. Are you here with us?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me? Can you see me?
Yes, ma'am. Looking good.
All right, all right. Thank you so much, Shannon. I got to give it right back to you, to all of our guests. That's Miss Shannon Johnson. She is actually a one-star director in this opportunity that you're about to hear about, but she is leading nearly 300 families in her amazing organization. On top of that, a lot of us are jealous because Shannon is retired in her 30s. She was a hairstylist in the beauty industry for nearly 10 years, and she decided, you know what? I want to get off my feet and onto the beach. I want to go live a life of freedom. And that's exactly what she is doing now and enjoying it. But she's the hostess with the mostest. And thank you for being here every single Monday. But hello, guests. Thank you so much for coming in on a Monday evening, giving us about 60 minutes of your time to hear about an amazing opportunity. First of all, whoever invited you to this Zoom tonight, they thought highly of you because not everybody gets a seat or not everybody gets an invitation to this amazing business. I was actually introduced into this business in 2019 because I travel. So a lot of this presentation is going to make sense to you, but one that's going to stick out the most is we all travel. So we do not want you to overthink that part of the business. Guys, I am the family booker. I'm the one who was booking the family's cruise each and every year. I would also have a few of my friends hit me up and say, hey, what do you think about this place in Dominican? Or can you look up this place in Jamaica? And I love travel so much, I did it. And I never used a travel advisor because I never knew how travel advisors got paid. I always thought that maybe you have to pay them to book something that I could already book. Well, I was just going to the .coms, Expedia, Travelocity, Priceline, or going direct to the vendors, and I was doing the work. Of course, I was price comparing. I was reading the reviews. I was looking at the pictures. I was entering the credit card, and I had no idea when I was doing the work that .com was getting paid. But in 2019, one of my makeup artist clients said, Brandi, listen, you're already doing the work. And I know that you're a smart individual. So I want to tell you how now you can do the work and you can come home to commission instead of receipts. Well, guys, it was a no-brainer after that. I was like, absolutely, please show me the way. And what she did not know, though, is she was showing me the way to three freedoms that I like to call the true adulting. Guys, I just want you to imagine for yourself, what would financial freedom, personal freedom, and time freedom look like for you? Because when I think about having these three freedoms, I really think about waking up tomorrow and not being rushed to be anywhere, right? Not having to wake up from an alarm clock telling me to put on a suit, get in traffic, hurry up and have my coffee on the go. I imagine having my coffee in bed, maybe having my coffee in the backyard, maybe having my coffee with a good morning book. But just waking up and being able to stretch and relax and not be stressed about having to rush somewhere. Or maybe for you, it's on a Monday, deciding to book that trip to the Maldives and you're going to leave out on Tuesday. And you're not just going for a few days, you're going to go for a couple of weeks, maybe even a month. Or for some of you, it's like, you know what? I'm just tired of having a boss. I don't want to have to continue asking somebody, can I have 15 more minutes for lunch? Can I have this off for a vacay? Can I have this off for my child's recital? Guys, what I realized when I jumped into this opportunity, not only was it going to give me those three freedoms, but it was going to help me design my ideal life because I was finally going to discover how to earn more, travel more, but mainly experience more. So I really want you to think about that. Think about dying with memories instead of dying with dreams. Because a lot of us, we have been able to travel, right? Maybe we go to Jamaica, we go to Bahamas, we go to Dominican, maybe even, Vegas, Miami. But how many of you want to do some real big girl, big boy travel, right? You want to go to Maldives, Bora Bora, Seychelles, South Africa, and you want to be able to go for a couple of weeks to a month. You don't want to have to rush it into just that short holiday vacation. Well, guys, you can absolutely do that by building a strong network. And here's the deal, we all have a network. The problem is we were never really taught how to embrace and empower ourselves and others through our network. But if you have at least 50 names and numbers in your cell phone, you have a network that you can now monetize to where y'all are now making money with each other instead of off each other. And when you do that, that is how you set yourself up to earn unlimited income. And secondly, we are talking about e-commerce because it is the way of the world. Guys, it's 2026. And I just want to put on everybody's mind that AI is not coming, AI is here. And we all have to get on the side of Wi-Fi wages. We need a .com. We have to make money online. It just is what it is, and we can no longer run from it. But what I love about this, we don't have any inventory. So you don't have to worry about stocking any products on a shelf, having to meet any quotas, any sales quotas for the month. You don't have to worry about getting in that car and driving to the post office. Guys, we get to work from anywhere at any time with no inventory and no quotas. And that's because we are in one of the largest industries in the world, the travel industry, which is actually a recession-proof industry. And it is one that is always on trend and never on trial. I was actually in this business during COVID 2020 when the whole world was supposed to be shut down, right? We were all supposed to be inside hiding from COVID. But guys, people were still traveling because to this day, I have never seen an empty airport. Even when the government shut down, guess what lines were wrapped around the building? The airport, because people are always going to travel. But now when you know better, you do better. So now you're going to learn how to get on the money making side of travel to where you can earn those commissions. And we're going to teach you some secrets about the industry. But let me properly introduce who we are. We are PlanNet Marketing, and we are an online business provider based in Atlanta, Georgia. We have been around now for a little over 10 years, and we are already in over 20 countries, and we are expanding this year to Dubai. So everybody type vision in the chat, because this is when I take a pause for the cause, because I want people to really start thinking about designing their ideal life and just imagine what that could be for you. Because I know at the top of the year, a lot of us did what we always do, which is our vision board, right? We had our New Year's resolution. Some of us wanted to upgrade our home, our car. Maybe you want to get out of debt. Maybe some of you are looking to propose or even get married. And a lot of times we will put all of these beautiful pictures on a board, but we don't have a plan how to get to that vision. And guys, what I love is our CEO, our founder, our visionary, Mr. Donald Bradley, he created the plan. Because you see, we have a CEO who became a multimillionaire in the travel industry. So we do not have a CEO that's maybe they got their money up in, let's say, investments in stocks or in real estate. No, guys, he became a multimillionaire in travel. Now, if he can do a thing, he can absolutely teach a thing. Now, he is a father of 4. He has been married now for 30 years. And his only goal when he started PlanNet Marketing 10 years ago was to help average individuals earn above average income. He wanted to help just ordinary people live extraordinary lives. And he wanted to do it through the avenue of travel. Now, he brought on 2 amazing individuals to help lead the charge. Our president, Mr. Dwayne Vansell, who has been in sales and marketing for over 20 years. And then we always got to have a queen enter the scene. And this is our girl crush, Miss Leanne Trokler. She's actually the one who pays us on time, every time, and sometimes before time. And guys, to date, PlanNet Marketing has paid out well over $350 million in commission. And as somebody who's been in the business, I can contest we get paid each and every week over here like clockwork. But now we are PlanNet Marketing. So of course we have to market something because we are a marketing firm. But guess what? I'm not here by myself. I'm about to bring up a dynamic individual who has 1,000% of this information. Because guys, when you have a powerhouse like her on the Zoom, you got to make sure that her voice is heard. You see, she is a 4-star director in this opportunity. She has actually brought over 100 families personally into this business to help them move as far from the poverty line as possible. But she is now leading an overall team of over 1,500 families that she is helping get their money up, their travel up, and their mind up. But guys, on top of that, she's doing all of this part-time because she works full-time for the federal government as a budget analyst. When I tell you nobody knows numbers like this lady coming to the Zoom. But on top of that, she is a mom. Guys, she is a mom of 3. Now, she was able to double her income on a part-time basis in this business because she worked her full-time 9 to 5, but then she built her dream and her empire from 6 to 12. So do I have our 6-figure earner residually on the Zoom today, Miss Tiffany Pierce?
I am here. Can you hear me and see me okay?
Absolutely. Take it away.
Absolutely. Listen, y'all, our product is travel. It speaks the love language of everybody. I don't care your race, creed, color, gender. I don't care your income bracket. Everybody loves to travel. And we have an exclusive partnership with IntelliTravel. See, they are our host agency. It simply means, listen, to get started in the travel industry, you no longer had to have $300,000 in the bank. You don't have to go out and establish those relationships. They've already done it for you. Based in Delray Beach, Florida, another US based 100% debt free company. Over 30 years in the industry. We are not a fly by night company, y'all. We are not new to this. We are absolutely true to this. Accreditations and certifications, they speak for themselves. Y'all, go ahead and do me a favor. In the chat, I want you to drop your favorite airline, your favorite hotel brand. Whatever you drop, I don't even have to wait for it. I just need you to know we're partnered with all of them, okay? Nothing is off limits. And so that accreditations and certifications, some of them you see across your screen. Norwegian Cruise Line, Carnival. Listen, I see Southwest Hilton and United. I see Delta and Marriott. Absolutely. We are their top sellers, okay? And then the Magellan Awards, that's like the Grammys and the Emmys of the travel industry. Yeah, our name rings bells there too. And then the Better Business Bureau. Can I tell you, not only is IntelliTravel, but PlanNet Marketing, both are A plus rated. James Ferrara, who you see across your screen right there on the right-hand side, he is the IntelliTravel CEO. Y'all, he's been with the company for its entire existence, which is very unheard of for most leadership. They often are jumping from company to company. Travel bookings to date, over $5.5 billion in travel sales in that 10-year partnership. Last year alone, we did over 1.5. As Brandi said, y'all, it is recession proof. Can I tell you, I started during COVID. It is pandemic proof and all of that proof, okay? But listen, the next question I have for you all. As my guest, I see you dropping all of your favorite things, but did you know that whatever website you go to, there's commissions built inside of every single thing that you book? Listen, if you knew that already, you are smarter than me, and don't say it in the chat because I don't want you to hurt my feelings, all right? But I didn't need a travel agent to book my stuff because I would do it myself. I would look up everything, go research it myself, hop on over to Expedia, book my travel, thinking I saved something by bundling it, right? Little did I know that Expedia was an online travel agency. Yeah, travel agencies have travel agents working for them. Nobody looked up anything for me. Nobody read a review. Nobody gave me their recommendations. I did all of that myself. So I was working for Expedia, yet not getting paid. Oh, no. When you know better, you absolutely do better. So we're going to show you how to position yourself to earn 70 to 80% of the commission that's built inside of every single thing that you do. Yes, if you just got off of a plane, if you just came from a hotel, yeah, you could have been earning on what you're already doing. Your own full-fledged at-home travel agency. You heard what I said, okay? Do with your agency as you want to. Your own payment gateway. Yes, I'm talking even those payment plans. And what can you book? Y'all just think about it. The opportunity is endless. Group trips, individual trips. Listen, guys trips, girls trips. Everybody is getting, listen, you see all those proposals happen anywhere from November to February, right? Listen, imagine if you are booking for them the honeymoon, destination weddings. And unfortunately, if the wedding don't go right, it doesn't matter. You can help them book those divorce trips. If I have any D9 on the line, can I tell you we are traveling all the time? Imagine booking those boulets, those conclaves, all of those things, right? But listen, Brandi, tell them how easy as an entrepreneur this opportunity was for you, though.
Absolutely, because I've been an entrepreneur now for 26 years in the beauty industry as a makeup artist. And guys, I have built a lot of businesses in between. And building a business from the ground up is no easy feat. You're going to win some, you're going to lose a lot, and then you got to repeat it. But what I love about IntelliTravel, it's a turnkey business. It truly is a business in the box. So if you've ever thought about getting your entrepreneurial venture started or stepping into your entrepreneurial rights, this is the best way to do it, because you're going to have customer service and support 7 days a week. You're going to have on-demand agent training. And guys, all that means is instead of going on demand on Netflix, and you know how we do, because I'm gonna come to the altar. I was one of those girls. I would stay up to 2, 3, sometimes 4 in the morning talking about one more episode. And what I realized, I was wasting time. I was busy watching millionaires instead of working on being a millionaire. So I unplugged from going on demand on Netflix, and I started going on demand on my business, because it is what was going to give me a return on my investment. But then we also have over $100,000 in sales and marketing materials, which is a true game changer. Because as a traditional entrepreneur, you're responsible for that. You're responsible for the design, for the print, for the paper that you're choosing. But in teletravel, they've given us our business cards, all of our marketing materials, even down to marketing materials for social media. So we help you get your business up and running successfully. But when I say we have access to everything, we leave nothing unturned. From cruises to vacation packages, tours, car rentals, airline tickets, hotel rooms, resorts, travel insurance, sports and entertainment tickets, train tickets, vacation rentals, excursions, and activities. Guys, not too long ago, Super Bowl passed. We had travel agents put Super Bowl packages together where they did the flight, they did the hotel, the rent-a-car, the car service, or even the home. And then on average, the average Super Bowl ticket bought this year started at $10,000. Just imagine adding 2 of those into the package, what your commission could be. But also, what about those excursions and activities? My husband and I, we actually did an excursion or an activity out in New Orleans not too long ago, and it was a cooking class. And guess what? Date night, I got paid because I was able to buy that cooking class from myself. But on top of that, even a rental car, just one more example. Unfortunately, my husband was hit a couple of weeks ago and we had to get a rental car. Well, the insurance is covering the price of that rental car that, guess what, I bought from my website. So not only is the price going to be covered, but then we're also going to be making money from that vehicle. So guys, when we're saying why travel and why now, really the question is why not? It really truly does just make sense. It's already about an $11 trillion annual industry and it's looking to go to 15 trillion in the next 10 years. And this is when I tell everybody to put on your merchant hat, your entrepreneur hat, put on your boss hat, because we want to get you on the money-making side of travel instead of the consuming side of travel. We all remember when Dubai used to be a desert. And Dubai is now one of the #1 destinations to go and experience. But how about the Maldives being known for those over-the-water bungalows? But now you're seeing that pop up in Bahamas. You're seeing it in Jamaica. You're even seeing it down in Florida. And guys, Tiffany and I, we were both in this business during COVID. And Tulum blew up during COVID. So much so that Tulum now has their own airport. And the next destination to blow up is going to be Saudi Arabia, which means what? That travel is going to continue to trend. And no matter what is going on in the world, people are going to hop on planes, trains, and automobiles because we got the millennials giving about 4 trillion annually to the industry. And then we have the baby boomers who are actually fueling the growth. Because baby boomers have realized, you know what? I'm on that 4th quarter of life. I've been working for all of these years. Now I'm retired. Now I have my time freedom, but I'm really not looking at spending all of my retirement income, but I do want to travel. So they have decided not only to hop into the travel industry, but they've also decided to rock on cruise ships instead of rocking in rocking chairs. But then we have the Generation X. Now, to all of my Generation Xers, you are still in the workforce. But I know you want to get out quick, fast, and a hurry. Because see, you have subscribed to the 40-40-40 plan where you're working for 40 years, 40 hours a week, retiring on 40% of your pay. Now, I don't know about you guys, but there is no way that I can retire on 40% of my pay today and still maintain the lifestyle that I live. We all see that the cost is going up. Gas is skyrocketing by the day. So not only is Generation X hopping into the travel industry to supplement some income, but they're also spending about 3 trillion annually in the industry. Now we have Generation Z. Now this is that generation that I love to hate and I hate to love. It's my niece generation. She is 22 years old. Guys, she does not have a job and she has vowed not to get a job. Yet she lives in a luxury high rise out here in Houston, Texas. And why is that? Because Generation Z is the digital generation. They have actually gotten it right. They want to make what we call Wi-Fi wages because they do not want a cap on their income. They have actually coined the phrase no cap, meaning they don't want a cap on when it comes to how much they can get paid. They are the jet setters. They are the ones who like to make money with whomever, wherever, and all over the world. So that's why you can go in a coffee shop on a Monday at noon and you can see a Gen Z in there on their computer having coffee, a croissant, and enjoying their life. So guys, all we're saying is the #1 research category online is travel. So why not take a bite out of it? Why not turn your cell phone into an ATM? Because that cell phone is now about $2,000. We're just saying get paid on what people are doing anyway, because almost everyone you know is traveling, or at least they want to travel. And guess what? We just don't travel for fun. So I really want y'all to expand your mind. How many of you had to travel for a funeral? Maybe you have to travel for a wedding, maybe even education, maybe medical reasons. Guys, for any reason that you're clicking on a .com, it is time for you to click on your .com to where you can get paid. So Tiffany, let's talk about what some of our commissions look like when you are booking in the travel industry.
Absolutely. This is one of my favorite parts. We're going to make it make sense. If anybody knows any frequent business travelers, maybe a traveling nurse, truck drivers, something of that nature, imagine them going to your.com instead of Expedia.com. You don't even have to touch it, y'all. They book the same hotels that they were going to stay in anyway, but you earn a check for over $151. Now, for some people, they might be like, that's all right, but what could that take off your table? I can tell you my 21-year-old son eats $151 a week. So I gladly would accept that. If that's not enough money for you, what about something like this? If you know any golfers, I like to put it into perspective. That makes sense to me. Because yes, I have a 21-year-old son, but I also have an 8-year-old daughter. Y'all don't judge me. But I know about AAU parents that travel just like these golfers. Imagine booking their hotel stay. You know the greatest thing? You don't even have to do any research. They know where you're going. They know already what they want to do. So they simply give you the hotel. You book it on their behalf. We're talking over $274 per room. Perspective, you all, AAU parents. Where my AAU parents at? We're talking 8U, 10U, 12U, multiple families. What would that take off the table for you? I have Verizon. That looks like my monthly. Look, I see Coach Daisy over there. That looks like my monthly Verizon bill. I'd gladly make a booking for each and every family that's there. If that's not enough for you, didn't I just talk about everybody getting proposed to in all these engagements? Imagine booking their honeymoon on their behalf. What I will tell you is you take all the hustle and bustle out of it for them. Give them butler service in Cancun. Listen, they were already going anyway, y'all. $561 off of that honeymoon. Absolutely amazing. Maybe that'll pay for your car insurance, maybe your automobile insurance or automobile payment. What would that pay for you? Maybe your groceries for a few weeks of the month. Listen, nowadays that looks like your electricity bill right now, right? As when it was really cold. Hopefully it gets better. But if that's not enough for you, where are my cruisers? If you're a cruiser, drop a cruise ship, drop a comma if you a comma type person. See, that's my kind of thing, right? We went on a cruise just like this. Imagine booking this for your family. Anybody on the family reunion committee? Put them on a cruise. Let me tell you why. I will tell you my family argued about everything. They argued about what cruise line. They argued about the shirts because the baby boomers wanted the scripture on the back. Gen Z wanted bad and bougie on the front. They even argued about the color of the shirt. But the one thing I told you we was not up for discussion or debate was who was going to book it. It was going to be me because I was now a merchant in the industry. While I let them put the cruise line, all of my VIP family, we got to tap into the same rate they were going to get anyway. But y'all, because I booked it, we earned a commission of over $2,200 on that same cruise that if they had gone directly to the site, that $2,200 would have stayed with the cruise line. Y'all, we're now talking about mortgages. Maybe we're talking about all of your bills for the month, maybe rent for a few months. Listen, it just makes sense to make money on what we were going to do anyway. But one of the greatest things that I love to do is I love to have fun, to learn and earn at the same time. You know how we take trips and before we even get in the airport, we're recording? Maybe you're like me and I'm taking a video of I'm in the airport to send to all my coworkers. Y'all at work, I'm getting ready to go on vacation. We post those things. We even tell about our room before we even do anything else. Let me show you my beautiful view. But imagine when you do that, you actually make money every single time that you do that. See, we get to educate ourselves from a client's perspective. Yes, even though it's like vacation, it's our vocation, okay? And you could become certified in anything that you like. Is it required? Absolutely not. Is it there for you? Yes, you can scale your business however you want. We have certifications such as Dreammaker, Vacation Builder, or Travel Genius that you can scale yourself and scale your business. Listen, can I tell you the country of Aruba, Jamaica, even Disney provide certifications for us as well? You can become as educated as you like, okay? But one of the greatest things that I love is I love going into a classroom, and we go into classrooms that look like this. Now, I don't know about you all, but I missed a few classes in college, but I would never miss this type of classroom. We got to go to Negril, Jamaica, 4 days, 3 nights, all inclusive, adults only. Yeah, I told you I got an 8-year-old, y'all. I got to leave her at home. When I tell you nobody looked lonely at all, Wellness travel certification. Do y'all know that doctors prescribe travel as like the number one medicine nowadays? We got to go for $4.99 per person, not per night, for the entire stay. And we also got certified to be able to provide that wellness travel type of environment. Okay. And if that's not good enough for you, where are my bougie travelers at? I'm going to go ahead and raise my finger. Okay. Bougie travelers, we got to go to Punta Cana, Dominican Republic, 4 days, 3 nights, but it was 5 star. Listen, all inclusive yet again. But we got a luxury travel advisor certification for $720 per person. Can I tell you the hotel itself? I was nosy, y'all. I looked it up. The hotel market price was over $700 a night. And I tell you, they rolled out the red, the blue, the orange, the green, and the pink carpets for us. They did everything pristine and proper. But one of the things I love about this business, if you're like me, I said, this sounds too good to be true. What's the catch? Brandi, explain to them how they remove all of the risk that anybody could ever think of.
Now, truth be told, this was actually the slide that sealed the deal for me. Because as I said, I'm someone who have built business from the ground up. And when I came into this business, I was actually running 5 other businesses. And what I realized is that I was spreading myself thin. I always talk about myself and say that I was busy being broke. I was always like, oh, I'm so busy. I'm so busy. I don't have time to do anything else. But this business just made too much sense to me. And so when I saw that it offered nothing but guarantees, I was like, hey, why not? I love betting on myself. And that's exactly what I did. So our number one is our best travel price guarantee. So let's say, for example, that you yourself have a client that you booked to go to Jamaica on a Monday, but your client is still going to search and make sure that you found the best price. If they come back to you within 7 days and they say, hey, I found exactly what you found, apples to apples, oranges to oranges, but I found it for a little less. What's so great about IntelliTravel? They're going to either meet or beat the price that your client found. And in the event they can't, they will cut that client a voucher for 110% of the difference, which means what? They're going to come back to you in the future for their next trip. But number 2 is for you guests. Whenever you decide to partner with us, and we are hoping that you decide to do that tonight, because when I tell you this business just makes sense, that's exactly what it is. It just makes sense. You're going to have 30 days. A full 30 days to explore your business risk-free. Now that right there is a game changer. That means that you can get your business up and running tonight. You can go into your website. You can look at the prices. You can look at the training. You can see if what we're really saying is true. And if for some reason you decide that you want to cancel within that 30 days, you're going to get your full investment back with no questions asked. But guys, it was the number 3 that I said, wow, this must be really true. Because not only are they going to give you those 30 days risk-free, they're going to give you another 11 months. That means you have a whole entire year. And as somebody who has ran businesses, I know that it takes longer than 30 days to really start to see your business profit and grow. So go ahead and take a full year. Learn your business, plug in with us, take your training, go on some trips. Make some money and save some money. But in the event you do not make or save what you invested in this opportunity, then IntelliTravel is going to turn around, cut you a check for the difference to make you whole, and then you get to decide whether or not you want to keep your business. And that right there is a game changer. And truth be told, only debt-free businesses can do that. And that's exactly what IntelliTravel is doing. But guys, what we've talked about so far, and y'all just hang in there with us, we've talked about everything travel. From here on out, if you yourself decide that you still want to go to Expedia, Priceline, Travelocity, Orbitz, or wherever you go to book travel, I just want you to be highly aware that you are giving your money away. And when we're talking about commissions, guys, we're not talking about small commissions. I was able to make $2,700 off of my family's cruise, $1,600 off my trip to Monaco. One of my business partners, her and her husband just went to Tulum and made $530 in commission. But then on top of that, the savings that I have been able to have. When I was in Atlanta a few months ago, the Ritz-Carlton was $399. The travel advisor rate was $139. So I just want to paint the picture that travel right now just makes sense. Not only can you save your money, but you can also get your money up. But then it was this side of the business that really was the side of the business that truly changed my life. Because guys, we have all heard about network marketing. We have all heard about building a network. And truth be told, I was one of those individuals who stayed away from it. I was in this business for 4 years, just enjoying the travel. I was booking my trips. I was making and saving money on booking my trips, and I never told a soul. But 2 years ago, I really started looking at my money and I was realizing that I was starting to have more month than money. And I needed an opportunity. I needed a way that I could make money from home and a way that money would grow without me being present. And guys, that's when I plugged into the marketing side of this business because here's the deal, we all share. We're either going to share a great movie. I know for me, I was sharing that show His and Hers that was on Netflix. I was telling everybody to go watch it because the end of it was just amazing. Maybe we're going to, share a shoe sale or the latest and greatest restaurant. Every single day, we are marketing somebody's business and we are not getting paid. But Mr. Warren Buffett said you should never rely on a single source of income. You must invest to create a second source. Now, a lot of times when we need more money, most of us go out and get another job. And that used to be me. I was somebody at one time, I had 4 different jobs, so much so that I ended up extremely sick in the emergency room. And the doctor told me that I had to quit 2 of those. But what I have learned is the power of building a team is where you get to truly live your dream. So once I understood how marketing really works, you couldn't shut me up. I was outside telling everybody. Because one thing that I realized is that I can talk, right? And I know a lot of people who love to travel or who just want to get their money up. Guys, and every single person that I told about this business, when they chose to partner with me, I made a $50 direct sale. Now, I know to some of y'all may be like, what is $50 really going to do? But Tiffany and I, we are sitting up here letting you know that we have now partnered with over 100 individuals that have joined us in business. So y'all can definitely do the math on that. But where the game truly, truly changes is this 50% check match. Because you see, it's great when you make your own money, when you tell somebody about the business and you get that $50. But guys, everybody that you tell, when they start sharing with their friends, their family, their network, guess what? You're going to get 50% of what they make. Now, I know a lot of you on here, you've probably referred somebody to a job. Just imagine every single week you're getting 50% of their paycheck. Well, imagine it here because that's exactly what happens. Shannon, who I introduced earlier, she was the one who was introducing everybody at the beginning of the Zoom. Guys, I brought her into the business. And this is the deal. Shannon didn't even see a presentation. She saw me on social media. We didn't know each other before social media, but she saw me say travel and money, and she liked the 2 of those together, and she partnered with me in business. Guys, if she went out and made $1,000 for the week, I made $500. All because I shared with Shannon a way for her to travel smarter and not harder. But then Mr. Bradley upped it one more time. He put a $10 bill on the table that's going to run throughout your business as you promote within your business. So one thing Shannon did is she immediately went and told her parents because her parents travel. She actually had booked a trip for them and got the commission, and then she told them about the business. And when they came into the business, $10 came my way. So no matter who tells who and when they tell them, you are going to get a direct sale, and this is weekly income. So I just want you to imagine adding another check every single week to your income. But Tiffany, Mr. Bradley, he is somebody who likes to compete. And I thought my competitive bone was gone. I was in school and I did all the things, got the ribbons, got the trophies. But for some reason, when I got in this business, it just reignited. And I'm so glad it did. So I would love for you, because you know how to break down the numbers, to break down the PlanNet Builder program.
Absolutely. And it's structured just like the Olympics. Why? Because he loves the sports, right? And when you go to the Olympics, people are always going for the gold medal, right? So no different here. But when you introduce 3 people to the opportunity, you can do the math clean, easy. 3 times 50, 150 back in your pocket. You're considered a bronze builder at this point. But I promise you're not going to stop there, because if you're like me, when I heard the first part of the presentation, I was already thinking of all the people I knew who we would like to stop throwing away our money and make money on what we were doing anyway. But when you tell another 3 people for a total of 6, you're considered a silver builder. I'm going to give you a little hint and a clue. You already have a return on your investment here, okay? But you're still not going to stop there. Why? Because you're going to want your face on the Wheaties box, right? Just like the Olympics. So when you introduce another 3 people, you are now a gold builder. Now, the crazy part is I can show you and tell you we got plenty of bronze, silver, and gold builders on the line, so they can drop it in the chat. I want you to know this is absolutely possible. But at Gold Builder, the company has a nerve to give you 3 more streams of income, y'all. Can I tell you multiple streams of income? First, you unlock your first $10 team bonus for doing the same thing when you just knew you had a good thing. They're going to increase what you receive on that direct sale. They also, if they put it on one side, they put it on that 50% check match too as well. So now that 50 goes to 60, that 25 to 35. Y'all can do the clean math. But you also get a 10% match on personal ITA's travel commissions. What does that mean? Everybody you personally sponsor, anytime they book any travel, they're going to receive that commissions off the travel that they book. But because you introduced them one time, whenever that is, you're going to get a 10% match, not out of their money, but from the company. First of all, I got to publicly say congratulations, Brandi, for hitting that century club, y'all. There aren't many to have done that, okay? We both have introduced 100 people to the business opportunity. When they're doing that one thing and that one thing only, which is making money off of travel, can I tell you we always get a 10% match from the company? Now, you can go open a McDonald's and flip burgers and make money, or you can show other people how to open a McDonald's. Every time they flip a burger, not only do they get paid, but you get paid too. We're talking franchising at its finest, okay? But you also get a 10% match on personal reps matrix commissions. And what's the matrix? This is my fun part, y'all. I do numbers for a living. It's residual income, not the linear income that we're taught. I like to call this the Michael Jackson Prince money. You know how they made a song one time and their families are still getting paid for it, even in their death? That's the type of money I'm talking about. And ours is in a 3x9 team building matrix because you already heard what Brandi told you. If you want to build your dream, build a team. Together, everyone achieves more. And it's depicted by the image you see on the left-hand side of your screen. Now, somebody is like me and I said, oh, is it one of those pyramid things? Because that's what society told me. Those pyramid things. I even turned up my nose. But when I really looked at it, because the crazy part was, the next day after I saw the presentation, I had to go create the org chart for the restructure of our agency in the government. Can I tell you, I tilted my head to the left and I saw my boss, the supervisors and the employees. And then I tilted my head to the right and I actually saw my grandmother, her children, and the grandkids. Oh my gosh, I saw a hierarchy. That is all it is. Okay. And everybody who partners with us gets a matrix. You get one whether you want one or not. We give them out like Oprah gives out cards. But what I want you to know is as the company grows, your matrix is going to fill up. So you will have people in your matrix, whether you invited them or not. But all these numbers on the right-hand side of your screen, I don't want you to get analysis paralysis. Not only do I do numbers, I'm actually a trainer by trade, and I'm going to break it down. You see that first column, levels 1 through 9 is getting ready to appear on your screen. That's exactly what I explained to you going bronze, silver, and gold. The second column, that's how many people will fill your matrix when that level is open. The third column, you get paid $4 per person. Again, whether you introduce them to the business or not. The fourth column is your max payout when all those seats are filled. So stick with me. You see that number 2 with the unlock? When you've introduced 2 people, y'all, the crazy part, you ain't even hit one of our builders program stats yet, y'all. 2 people, you unlock this residual income and it's paid every single month on the 10th of the month like clockwork. All right? You will receive a max payout of $48. Now, somebody on the line is still talking, oh, y'all talking $50, $48. I thought we was talking real money. I promise you, stick with me because this is why Brandi and I are both multi-six-figure income earners. When you introduce 6 people, 6, and your matrix fills up, that level alone, the 6th level holds 729 people. We're talking over $4,300 every single month on the 10th of the month. Now, $48 may not have done it for you, but would an extra $4,300 in your household on a monthly basis change some attitudes? I know it changed mine first and foremost, okay? But the reason why I stop here is because the average American household doesn't make $4,300 a month. Can I tell you 98% of this organization is doing this on a part-time basis to include myself while still working our full-time jobs? Yeah, the third reason I like to stop here is because we got a young lady on our team who actually introduced 6 people. Her matrix filled up. Can I tell you she was able to release 2 of her part-time jobs? She just built a house from the ground up, her first one, and is absolutely living her best life, all because she introduced 6 people to this opportunity. See, when you introduce a total of 9, remember we said go gold. You're now at the top of our builders program, but you also now can hold over 19,000 people in this matrix. Now, I don't expect you to know 19. And Brandi and I, we've introduced 100, but I don't know if we know 19,000. Because at that point, you receive $118,000 on the 10th of every single month. And somebody just reminded me that tomorrow is the 10th. Hey, yes, yes, yes. But when you are a gold builder and you receive that $118,000, if your sponsor or if you were the sponsoring person of that gold builder, can I tell you, you're going to get a 10% match from the company So an extra $11,000 on the 10th of the month. Now, if I thought 4,300 was going to change a few attitudes, what would $11,000 extra in your household do for you? Okay. But one of the greatest things is I can tell you your team is going to grow whether you want it to or not. I promise you. At which time you're going to tap into the director's program. And Brandi, please tell them why it's the envy of the industry.
Absolutely, because a lot of you on the line already, you're already bosses. You're the leader, you're the manager, you're the one that everybody comes to when they have a question. And guys, that was actually my story. I worked for MAC Cosmetics for 7 years, and that last year that I was there, I sold over $1 million in products. And I'll never forget, I was so excited for the bonus to roll around in December, that one time per year, because I just knew that my bonus was going to finally allow me to get my down payment for that G-Wagon. Well, guys, my bonus was $250 after selling over 1 million in products. And when I tell you I was there every weekend, every holiday, throughout the week, a line of people selling, 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 and I was busy building someone else's dream instead of building my own dream. Well, a week after I received that $250 bonus, I quit. I was 26 years old. I'll never forget it because I said there has to be more than life than to get everybody else rich while all I can do is afford a steak at Outback Steakhouse. So that's when I stepped into my entrepreneur rights. So when I saw bonus money here, but I saw that it happened every single 30 days, I still had a little chip on my shoulder. I was like, okay, Mac, now it's my time to pay you back. Guys, within 90 days, I built my organization to 100 families. And I didn't do that by myself. Again, this is all about team. So for the sake of numbers, let's say you bring in 10 individuals to partner with you and get their business started in travel, and they go out and they do the exact same thing. You now have an organization of 100 travel agents, and your month is going to start with $500 on the first of every single month. If you're a one-star director, go ahead and drop it in the chat. Now, 3 months after that, I went two-star director because my organization had grown to 300 active agents. And then my bonus doubled. I was now getting $1,000 on the first of every single month. Guys, I am now a three-star director with over 500 agents in my organization, and my month is starting off with $2,000. And guys, this is in one check. Remember, we get 8 checks in this opportunity, and one of my checks starts my month off with $2,000. But how many of you want to be Tiffany, right? Because she's a 4-star director. So her month is starting off with $5,000 on the first of every single month. If you're a 2-star, 3-star, 4-star on the line, go ahead and drop it in the chat. And again, that's what her month gets to kick off with. She still has 7 other checks that's going to run throughout her bank account for the remaining of the month. Now, my coach and my mentor, she's a 6-star director. Her month is currently starting off with $16,000 on the first of every single month. But her story is so impressive because she was an individual who worked for corporate America for 20 years. And one day walked in and HR decided that it was the day that they were going to let her go, told her that her services were no longer needed, gave her a few minutes to clean out her desk, and out she went. Guys, within 1 year, her money was funny and her change was strange. She lost her house, she lost her car, and at the age of 42, she had to move back in with her mom. But this is what's so amazing about her story. It did not end there. She saw this opportunity on social media. Now, how many of us have seen opportunities on social media talking about how to get your money up, part-time, on the side, home-based business, and we just passed it up? But what she realized that it was time for her to bet on herself. She no longer wanted to go back into corporate America for them to tell her yet again that she was no longer worth it. Guys, she transferred that worth ethic that she gave to corporate America and she gave it to herself. And she went from making $50,000 a year to now earning nearly $60,000 per month and growing. She is actually the #1 income earner here in Texas and about to be the first millionaire earner in Texas. Now, that never would have been able to happen for her in corporate America. Now, in January, we actually just dropped our first 7-star director. She is now starting her month off with $30,000 on the first of every single month. I almost have to just slow that down, Tiffany, because it's just hard to believe. But she is a mother of 4. She is married. And guys, she decided that she wanted to get in the trenches and save her family. And that is exactly what she's doing. Now, Mr. Bradley has 10 stars on the table. So I don't know about y'all, but $250,000 every 30 days, I mean, it's not bad. Now, whether or not I'm going to get there, I'm not sure, but you best believe that I'm definitely going to try. Now, our presidential ring and Rolex program is something that Mr. Bradley actually pays for out of his own pocket because he just rewards what he wants repeated. Guys, when you get to sport that sapphire ring, that means that you have arrived to earning at least $100,000 residually in a calendar year. I was able to do that in 13 months. I got mad. I decided to make a decision because what I was doing was not going to give me the financial freedom. I was a makeup artist. I was having to show up for every single dollar. When a hurricane happened, I was out of business. When a storm happens, I'm out of business. When a little bit of ice is on the road, I'm out of business. I needed to figure out a way to make money and not be present and to make that money residually. Well, now I'm on my ruby ring run where I will be earning $250,000 in a calendar year residually, over $20,000 per month. Again, something that would have never been on the table for me as a traditional entrepreneur because I was a solopreneur. But now I have a team that's helping me build my dream. A diamond ring signifies that you are earning over $500,000 in a calendar year, over $40,000 per month. But as a millionaire, you get upgraded to that double diamond, meaning you are earning $83,000 per month residually. And guys, our first millionaire to hit in this business was actually a waiter at Papa Do's. And he was a waiter who couldn't even afford the food at Papa Do's. But again, he stepped into this business. He bet on himself, and now he is earning over $100,000 per month on a residual basis. So it just goes to say that you do not have to be a makeup artist. You do not have to work for the federal government. You do not have to be in corporate America. As long as you have a dream and you can build a team, you can absolutely make however much money you desire. Now, as a 5-star director, Mr. Bradley's going to go ahead and bless you with that diamond Rolex watch. So nobody rush out and go get a Rolex tomorrow. Just join us in business and go ahead and win one. Now, Tiffany, you're back to the numbers. So I would love for you to explain our income disclosure statement.
Absolutely. Another one of my favorite things. While working for the federal government for over 20 years, yeah, this goes ahead and dispels everything about a scheme, scam, or anything else of that nature. I actually had to be approved to partner with the company because of my security clearance. You can absolutely get back with the person so you can see this up close and personal. But there's a few things with our IRS documentation I love to point out. On the 4th line, it represents the gold builder. Remember, I told you it was the top of the builders program. On average, they work 15 hours a week. Can I tell you that our highest paid made over $655,000 in 2025? Yeah, I done gave the government 20 years and do way more than 40 hours a week, and they don't even have $655,000 on the table for me. When I tell you this opportunity allowed me to match the 6 figures I make with them in 2 years, 5 years in, I'm with Brandi and we getting ready to hit $250,000 on the side. Listen, low, average, and high. You pick and choose what you are. I can tell you ain't nothing low or average about me. But it also shows you that the average person who comes in and does very low makes $0. So again, you pick and choose where you want to get off on. The options are limitless for you. Okay. But listen, this is one of my favorite things, and both of us are going to speak on this just a little bit. It's our PlanNet Marketing Pledge, and I know you can read it, but I'm going to tell you, it tells you, feel secure knowing that in the event of your death, when you become a PlanNet Marketing Director, the business you've built will outlast you. Yes, you will receive all of your PlanNet Marketing weekly commissions, your director's pay, the bonuses, and your monthly residual income. Layman's terms, when you transition, this company will continue to pay your heir or whomever you will it to. Y'all, my children are 25, 21, and 8. The one thing I do not have to worry about is not will the government take care of them or will my insurance carry them through, because this business that I've built to almost $250,000 in 5 years will continue to grow when I'm no longer here. So my income will grow and my children will receive all of it. But Brandi, I love when you tell your story because I remember the key slogan. You cannot wheel down the makeup brushes to your husband, or if you did, he probably wouldn't want them.
You are exactly right. And that's a lot of people because, a lot of us have businesses that we are going to pass down to our children or to our family. And a lot of them are going to sell it, as soon as they get the business. And this is really the true way to build generational wealth. Now, I've always heard that term. I've heard about generational wealth. I just was not around the right people to teach me how to get that. And this pledge opened up my eyes. It really did. Because yes, most of us, we do have life insurance. We're going to leave that to our family, but I've realized that's a one-time payout. And a lot of families traditionally will go through that within a year. But what Mr. Bradley has done is he has truly set your family up for success. Because if you come in here and you're a go-getter like Rachel Algie, who is now earning $170,000 per month, why would he take that away? that is still going to be able to be passed down to her 4 kids, her husband, and then to their kids' kids and their kids' kids. This is how you set up generational wealth. And with the way the world is going right now, Tiffany, we need to prepare now for what the future is going to hold. But guys, we teach you everything that we know. Listen, I was in the beauty industry. I didn't even know about Zoom or how to download a Zoom. I didn't even know how to do presentations or how to make a presentation. But what I did know is that I had to get around people who had my solution and get away from the people who had my problem. Because as long as I stayed around them, I was going to stay where I was. And guys, when my coach and my mentor set me down and she said, allow me to coach you to 6 figures in 1 year, who says no to that? So all I did was I plugged in. I plugged into the tools, the training, and the events, and I started learning my business. And in doing that, not only did I get my money up, I got my mind up. Because Tiffany, truth be told, when you want to become a millionaire, it starts here first in the mind. And guys, one of our best events where we get our mind up is our once-a-year convention. And it happens in Orlando, Florida every single year at the world's largest Marriott. And guess you have not missed it. This is happening September 10th through the 12th. When I tell you it's over 7,000 agents in there from all over the world who are super excited, who are in there with the highest energy, and we get to glean and learn from multimillionaires. They teach us, they show us, they give us the tools. Nobody is gatekeeping. They want you to succeed for yourself and for your family. So guys, this year is coined unstoppable, no excuses, no fear, and no limits. But I know everybody is on here like, okay, well, y'all hush already because you sold us at the travel. We are ready to get started. You're already traveling. Y'all are probably planning right now for the summer. Maybe some of you are on travel right now for spring break and you realize you're going to come home to a receipt instead of a check. Well, guys, how do you start is almost disrespectful. Because I remember when I first saw this, I was like, no, I don't think, I want to invest. And the following day in my stinking thinking, I went out to Sunday Fun Day and I bought a bottle of liquor for $350, something that was never going to give me a return on my investment. In fact, it only gave me a headache. And that's when I realized something had to change. So I went ahead and I invested my $199.90 for 2 debt-free businesses. Because you see, price is what you pay, but value is what you get. Give me 10 cents. Let's call it $200. You're going to invest $200 one time, and you're going to get 2 businesses to set you up for unlimited income. Now, it's just one package. I know you see 3 prices, but we're going to break that down for you. PlanNet Marketing is going to get $19.95 of that $200. That is actually how we currently have 8 millionaires in this business. That is how you're going to be able to build a team as big as your dream if you want to. Again, none of that is mandatory. My coach always says, if you just want to book travel, you want to be a secret agent, go into your closet, book your travel, and do not tell a soul. But I really want you to think about this. You would not be here if someone did not tell you. So it's always good to share when you have an amazing opportunity. Now, $179.95, that is going to go to IntelliTravel. That is how you're going to be your own agency. Guys, you're going to get your VIP travel benefits. You're going to have your own personalized website that you will be able to share with friends and family. Let's say they're going to Vegas. Now you have a website where they can book Vegas and you can get paid. You're going to also be able to travel like an insider, get some of those insider rates. That's what Tiffany and I love to do. We love to travel like an insider. We are VIP guys. Like we walk on property and we're like rock stars. Now you are in business. So there is a price to doing business. And the cost over here monthly, it's only $60 a day. Guys, that breaks down, $60 a month, which breaks down to $2 a day. $60 a month is now paying us 6 figures in this opportunity. Now, guys, I did have stinking thinking during COVID, right? Because the world was shut down and I was worried and I was like, oh Lord, I need to pull back some of these bills. Where can I save money? And for a brief second, I was thinking about canceling my business. I called my coach and I called my mentor and I said, listen, I don't know what's going on with the world. Nobody's coming to me right now to get their makeup done. I need to cut back and I need to save. She put me on the phone with Mr. Shedrick White, who is the first millionaire to hit in this business. And he said, sweetheart, let me ask you something. Do you have cable? And I said, yes, sir. He said, do you have Netflix? And I said, yes, sir. He said, cancel your cable, cancel your Netflix, because you're over there busy watching millionaires instead of working on being one. And guys, that was the shift that started to change for me when I thought about how millionaires see opportunities. Because I never thought about canceling my cable. I never thought about canceling my Netflix. something that will never yield me a return on my investment. So thank God I was able to keep everything because I got plugged into my business and I started making money. So do not think about that $60 a month as a bill because it is an investment. And as Warren Buffett said, you have to invest when you want to create a second source of income. But guys, there's usually three people in the room. Number one, you get it. You're looking at life right now. You're seeing the price go up. You see gas is starting to skyrocket, and you're like, listen, I got to figure out something else. I got to start bringing in some extra income. I got to start securing my family. And so you're ready to go. Now, if you're number one, we love to celebrate our number ones who are betting on themselves tonight. Go ahead and drop one and who invited you in the chat if you are ready to get your business started tonight. Drop a one and who invited you. Now, listen, if you're number two, that means you have questions. Great. Tiffany, I think you asked every question under the sun when you first got started. So we are going to stay on here and we're going to get those questions answered for you. You can also go ahead and start dropping those questions in the chat. Now, listen, if you are a number three, no problem. You can go ahead and drop a three in the chat as well. We just want to thank you for coming to the Zoom tonight. Whoever invited you here, they just wanted you to hear about an amazing opportunity that's about to move their family as far from the poverty line. And they thought that you would be somebody who would want to get your business started. But if you're not yet ready, we are going to ask one favor of you. When you are traveling in the future, maybe you're going to a sports or entertainment event, we're going to ask that you support them in business. No longer go to Ticketmaster.com, Expedia, Priceline, Travelocity, or whomever. Go to the website of the person that invited you. Because remember, that price is already built, that commission is already built inside of your price. So go ahead and give that commission to your friend instead of giving it away to a stranger. Now, guys, we've reached the end of our presentation. We always say start your journey of success today, because why are we waiting? If you don't have another opportunity on the table, why can it not be this? Because if it's not this, then what will it be? And if it's not now, then when? And if it's not you, then who? Because the journey of 1,000 miles, it just begins with one step. And I promise you, if you take one step, we are going to take two. So Shannon, let's do a stop share. Let's see what we have going on in the chat. Do we have some number ones coming through that's ready to get their business started? I'm always excited for number ones. We are in that first quarter. And so we know that now is the time to get started. What do you see coming in?
Yes, absolutely. So we are so excited for the number ones coming through and getting started with their business. We just want to shout them out. So we have Queenetta is joining, invited by Annalise. We have Jackie, invited by Bria, is a number one. Congratulations. Jasmine is a number one, joining with Vicky. We have Danielle joining with you, Coach, as a number one. We have Quentin is a number one, joining with Cammie. We have Miranda is a number one, joining with Melvin. And we have Grandma's Phone is a number one, invited by Nola. And many number ones. We have Joel is a number one with Della. And let's see, if you have a number two in the chat, go ahead and drop your question. And we would love to answer those. Let's see, we have Bridget is a number one, so congratulations. Jayla, number one. Nicole is a number one. So we have a lot of people getting started. We have Jayla was invited by Sanquez. Hopefully I said that correctly. And we have Andrea is a number one with Mr. Wayne. So congratulations to them. Denise is a number one, joining with Mayola. Let's see. Shahira is a number one, invited with Angelise. And Michael is the number one, joining with Dee Dee. So congratulations to all of them. No questions came through yet, so let me know your closing remarks.
Absolutely. I'm actually going to pass this over to Tiffany because I know, Tiffany, you are on your way to that climb of that $250,000, also on your way to 5-star director. And I know a lot of times people will see this information and they're a little scared, right? They're like, I'm going to be a number three, because sometimes you don't really understand it, or you're not really sure how to make money. And I know that that was kind of my fear. So I would love for you to talk about what was your feelings when you first saw this opportunity.
Yeah, I was the same way. I was skeptical. I actually said no 5 times, if I can be honest with you. But that was probably the worst decision I could have ever made. It was simply because I didn't understand what I was really tapping into. And so, again, most number threes are number twos and they have questions. We just want you to get your questions answered. So please make sure you get back with the person who invited you so they can be very transparent and answer any question that you may have. Okay. And so, one of the other things I will tell you is don't overthink it, y'all. It is very simplistic. You're already doing it. Continue to do what you're already doing, but make money in an industry. Somebody might even be saying, well, I don't really travel. The owners of Purina Dog Food don't eat dog food. But if you want to remove yourself from the poverty line, sometimes you got to do something different. I was already making 6 figures, but living 6 figures check to check. To now be involved in an opportunity that more than doubled what I make for the federal government after a 20-year career. Just absolutely do not overthink it, y'all. Get your business started today, or more, at least ask questions so you can get your questions answered.
Absolutely. So I didn't say no 5 times. Tiffany had no idea, but I did say no once. But in saying no once, I watched my friend elevate her life for 4 years. And this is what's so crazy, guys. My friend, she never came back and begged me. She was never like, Brandi, I'm over here. I'm making money. Please let me help you. Let me show you. She just allowed me to watch her. She allowed me to watch her go from no car to a Range Rover, from no home or staying in her mom's home to a high rise, from a high rise to a beautiful home, to a Bentley, to Chanel bags, to just paying off $30,000 in debt to Sally Mae. She just allowed me to watch. Because here's the thing, no one is going to beg you to save your family, but we do want to show you. And so when she sat me down and she said, allow me to coach you to 6 figures, not only did she get my money up, but she got my mind up. Because I was someone who was skeptical and broke. I was someone who was making 6 figures, but I was living month to month. I had credit card debt. I wasn't able to help my parents as they were getting older, help them pay some bills, put extra groceries in their home. And I really had to start looking at my older life. Was I going to be the 60, 70, and 80-year-old makeup artist? And the answer was no. Because we all know that ageism is a thing. And most people, once you start getting up in age, maybe you're going to be the Walmart greeter, or maybe you're going to be the crossing guard. And so I really had to think about what was my older life going to look like. And I realized that I could not start when I got older. I had to start now, while I could and while I can. So, guys, if you're on here and you're thinking, can I do this? Let me tell you the reason why you can do this is because you're going to have support. You're going to have coaches. You're going to have mentors. You're going to have people that wants to push you to success, because there is nothing better than making people with each other. Because when you win, I win, making money with each other. When you win, I win. When you move, I move. And that's the name of the game, where we are all coming up together. So, guys, as Tiffany said, get back with the person that invited you. Get your questions answered. Ask them about their personal experience with being in the business, because right now we only have 145,000 agents in this business and we're already in over 20 countries. I don't want you to look up a year from now and we're at 250,000, and then wait another year and we're at 500,000. And you realize that those two ladies that was on that Zoom on that one Monday have now become half a millionaires in an opportunity that they told me to get started back then. Guys, you have a whole entire year. You can get plugged in with your business. You can learn your business. And if in one year you decide that it wasn't for you, the company is going to make you whole. So I want to thank everybody for joining tonight. I want to thank everybody that's getting their business started for betting on you. It is going to be the best decision that you have ever made. And guess what? We're going to be right back here next Monday. Next Monday, we're going to be back here. We're going to be sharing this opportunity, and we can now share it on your behalf. Tiffany, I see you came off mute. Did you have a closing thing you want to say?
Nope. Welcome to all of our new business partners. Absolutely. That's it.
Yes, yes. Welcome to the best place on the planet. And so every single Monday, we are here helping families build their legacy one trip at a time. Thank you, everybody. Y'all have an amazing night. We will see y'all right back here next Monday. Y'all be well.